Hey guys, Revelation Warrior here. I am getting on here to tell you guys about a rapture dream that I had. So I'm just gonna hop right into it. Forgive me, I'm gonna have to speak lowly because I'm in a stairway of a hotel right now and it's very late at night, so I don't want to disturb anybody. But I'm gonna hop right into it. So in my dream, I had this dream about, I want to say March of this year, so March 2025. I don't exactly remember when, but I do remember it was when I was still working, and it was close to when I was able to quit my job, and it was around March, late March that I quit, and this was a few weeks prior to that, so probably early March, late February. I had this dream where I woke up in my bed, and this dream felt so realistic that I had no idea that I was dreaming. I had no clue, no inclination at all that I was dreaming. I woke up and yeah, it was just like a normal day, except it was still dark. It was just on the weekend, and if I don't set an alarm, if I don't mean to wake up, then I don't wake up unless the sunlight hits my eyes. But I woke up like it was day, and it was completely black. It was like it was nighttime. So I went and I looked at, I checked out my, what do you call it? My phone. I picked up my phone, I looked at the time, and it was 10 o'clock in the morning, which it felt like 10 o'clock. It didn't feel like it was late. It felt like it was like 10 o'clock in the morning, but it was still dark outside, like it was night. So I got out of bed, and that was strange. So I walked out of my room. Normally, so I lived in, at the time that I had this dream, I lived in a house with the rest of my family, and I lived upstairs all the way to the back. So I have to walk by everybody's room. I gotta walk by the rooms upstairs, then I gotta go down the stairs, and I gotta walk past the downstairs rooms. And these rooms, as I walked out, the house just was very empty and very dull. There was no sound of anyone living in the house, which is very unusual because my families were very rambunctious at times, especially on the weekend. So, anyway, I walked out of my room and it was very silent. And as I walked down the stairs, every step that I took down the stairs, it became more and more evident that nobody was in the house. Like it was completely empty. And as I walked down the stairs, this sense of dread and I don't know, there's another way to put it. The sense of darkness was growing on me with every step that I took down the stairs. And once I got downstairs, it was just the sense of dread was almost unbearable. And like I said, guys, the stream felt very real. I had no idea that I was dreaming because of how real this experience was. I've had visions, spiritual visions before, I've had spiritual dreams before, and this one was definitely a spiritual dream. I know the difference between when I'm just having a normal dream and then I'm having a spiritual dream, so I take it as a warning. And so, yeah, I went downstairs and there was nobody there. And I looked out the windows. I could see out the windows, and it was just completely black. It was terribly, terribly dark outside. And I became aware of the sound of thunder. It was like the sound of thunder. It sounded like thunder, but it wasn't. It wasn't thunder because my mind, it was like a constant sound. Like, you know how lightning will strike and then the thunder will like roll and then it will cease? This sound wasn't stopping. It was the constant sound of thunder, but it wasn't stopping. And it was just rolling and rolling and rolling. And the only thing I can describe it as is the sound of the wrath of God. That's the only thing I can describe it as. It sounded like the wrath of God was upon the earth. And it was such a horrid sound. It was so authoritative, I guess the word is authoritative. And but it was so scary. Like the sound was so I'm getting chills just thinking about it now. It was such a terrifying sound. But it wasn't an evil sound. It really wasn't, but it was a terrifying sound. But the darkness was evil. Like the darkness that I could feel, it's like the darkness was creeping through the windows. That's how powerful this darkness was that was outside. It was like it was reaching through the windows, and the house was dark inside, but outside was like pitch black. And I remember thinking, oh no, in my dream I was like, oh no, I'm left behind. Like I don't know if it was the rapture. Okay, my mind puts it as the rapture because of the scenario I was in. And yes, I was left behind in the dream. I don't think I was left behind. I don't think I'm going to be left behind. But It was, sometimes the Lord will give you dreams or place you in places in dreams so that you can tell other people, warn other people about how it will be if you don't get right with God. And let me tell you something, guys. In this dream, you don't want to be left because the sense of dread, the sense of horror, the sense of loneliness that was evident in this dream was disheartening, to say the least. It was very disheartening. So, continuing, I decided that I was going to try and go outside because it was dark inside. The lights, oh yes, that's another thing. The light switches in my dream wouldn't work, which leads me to believe that the power was out, which leads me to believe that the grid may have been knocked out or something. All I know is that the light switches would not work. I tried to turn on my phone light, and for some reason my phone was working in the dream. It was like it was working, but it wasn't working. It's like it would work, but it wouldn't work. And I could see the time on my phone, and I turned the flashlight on, and it's like the flashlight turned on, but it wasn't giving any light. You know what I mean? It's hard to explain. It was a dream, but I'm sure you guys can understand what I'm trying to say. Sometimes in dreams, things don't work how they should. It's like the light turned on, but it wasn't giving me any sort of light. It wasn't lighting my path. So I decided I was going to try to go outside and see what was going on. So I went to the door. But get this, as I was heading towards the door, it's like this growling noise started. It's like something was growling from right outside the door. And as I would get closer to the door, the growling got louder. It was a demonic sound, okay? I'm just gonna tell you guys, it was a demonic sound. It wasn't just my mind. It wasn't anyone who's had demonic experiences or spiritual experiences at all can attest to the fact that when something is demonic, your soul automatically knows when it's an evil spirit or when it's a good spirit. So the sound in the stream was a demonic sound. It was clearly evil. And as I would get closer to the door, it would get louder. The growling sound would get louder and louder. So then it got to this point where like the thunder noise was so loud and the growling noise was so loud, and I just started feeling so hopeless. Like I felt so hopeless, and then the dream ended. And I woke up and I was so glad. I was so terribly glad when I woke up and realized that I was dreaming. Guys, it was a harrowing experience, and I think I went through that to warn you guys. Now, there's pre-tribbers, there's post-tribbers, there's mid-tribbers. I do not claim to be either. I'm not either one of those. I don't I don't pretend to know when the rapture is going to be. I don't pretend to I don't claim any timelines or anything. I don't claim any timelines. I don't claim any post, pre, mid. I don't care about any of that. I just care about what Jesus, my Lord and Savior, has to say. If he wants to come back post trib, pre trib, mid trib, that's up to him. All I know is that he's going to protect me either way. If you're a believer, if you're a true believer, he's going to protect you in those times. So it really doesn't matter if you feel like you want to prepare or get stuff. That's not a bad idea. But I don't claim to be any of those. But I do know that sometimes the Lord will talk to me, and this is one of those times. And in the dream, I was left behind. Like I said, I don't think I'll be left behind, but I was in the dream. And I can tell you right now, guys, it was horrible. It was horrible. The void, the emptiness that your soul feels, I felt like wow, I felt lonely, like I was completely on my own. I've been in some very lonely situations in life. I've been in some very desperately lonely situations in life where I felt so alone, disconnected from everyone that I loved. I've had those experiences in life and they feel horrible. But they haven't felt anything like I felt in this dream. And what I felt in this dream wasn't you don't want to mess around with that. It's not something you want to experience for yourself. So I don't claim to be a post tribulation guy or pre or mid. I don't care. I couldn't care less. What I do care about is what the Lord tells me. And in this dream, I was left and it was dark and it was horrible. So, guys, all I can say is get your life together. And the funny thing is, I wasn't going to post this video, but I feel a tugging in my heart to post this video, to make this video. I like to be very personal when it comes to me and God. Like what He tells me is for me and no one else. But me and my family and no one else. But in like I've been getting this tug to tell the stream and to post it, so I'm gonna do that. And I also have been feeling as I started feeling this, feeling like I should tell the stream, I started seeing a bunch of other like Rapture stuff on the internet. It seems to be a big topic right now. So I felt like, maybe God is actually wanting me to tell people about this experience that I had. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I hope you guys have in learned something from this video. Maybe it's an answered prayer. Maybe it's an answer to a prayer. Maybe it's God using me to speak to someone. I hope so. But you guys get your life right. Right now is not the time to play around at all. Like you don't want to miss whatever God has planned. You don't want to miss. And I I don't want to miss it. So get your life right. He's the only thing. He's the only thing that can save you. Not a public figure, not an influencer, not a movie, not another book. He's the only thing that will save you in this world. So please follow him. All right. Stay prayed up, guys. These days are dark.